When I think the horror well has run dry, along comes Shudder to the rescue. Anyway, let's review the short, The Runner. The Runner stars Chris Esfandiari, Sigurd Lauren, Cooper B. Handy, Aaron Ricks, Renee Nunez, and is directed by Boy Harsher, the band. What's up, guys? Man, I love when I find nice surprises, and it seems like I always find them on Shudder. Not always, but man, Shudder seems like they always do me right when it comes to finding unique, strange, outside the box horror. And sometimes it might be just a short, like The Host was 50 minutes, and that was a really impactful little found footage film. And it just goes to show that there are no rules when it comes to making a feature. Sometimes the movie needs to end at 90 minutes. Sometimes it needs to end at 3 hours. Sometimes it needs to be a long TV series. And sometimes you can go ahead and chop it at 45 minutes. You know, has the story been told? Has the point been made? And I like that strategy. And before we go even further into this, big shout out to my friend Beth. If she finds something interesting, she always lets me know. She's like, you need to check out The Runner. I know your taste, and I know what types of films you like, and I have a feeling you're going to like this just because it's so music driven.
Let's talk about The Runner.
Okay. She's reckless. I'm out of control. And it's pure evil.
And I am a massive, massive fan of music. I'll even state that sometimes if you give me a great, like, amazingly atmospheric type of score, sometimes that gets you halfway there for me. You know, I love a good musically driven movie because to me, the music is the emotion of the movie and it guides the path, you know, the tones that the movie has along the way. Is it going to be pulse pounding? Is it going to be dramatic? You know, is it going to be funny? Music always steers the ship when it comes to this stuff. The Runner is so unique. For just the small little 45 minutes that it is, you can immediately draw comparisons to very moody fare like It Follows, combined with like The Howling, combined with maybe a little bit of Halloween, just in terms of like Carpenter's style of music. There's a lot of synth in this, and I'm a sucker for synth in music, in movies. It seems like these days we're getting a lot of nostalgia in movies. And I'm not surprised at all, guys, because when I look at the horror community today, it seems like the films that we all admire so much and constantly harken back to are those films from the 70s and the 80s. There was just something special about that age. So it's no surprise that, you know, the DNA from that stuff bleeds into current horror movies because it works. At the end of the day, it works, it's scary, and it's awesome. But what makes The Runner so unique is, like, more than any other horror movie I've seen in a while, it is completely driven by the music. The band, Boy Harsher, that's not a guy, that's a band. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I'm pretty sure that's the band. I think it's 2 members or 3 members. If you look it up on Google, it shows 2 members, but in the movie, there's like 3 members. You got like a drummer. He plays like a drum pad, and then you got the singer, and then you got the keyboard player. And they've made a few albums in the past, but man, I like that this whole album, or it's more like an EP, it is this story. It guides the story all the way. If you didn't have this album, it definitely wouldn't work. And I know I'm stating the obvious here, but it's true. This is so music driven.
To her too.
I can sort of give you a quick plot synopsis, but I don't think this movie depends on the plot because it's more of an idea than a plot. It's this central character. We see her at the beginning of the movie. She's in the woods. She's covered in blood, and it opens with a musical number. And as soon as the singer screams, we see our main character screaming. And so throughout this 45 minutes, we're following this character from place to place to place. She ends up in this house where she cleans up. Then she ends up in this bar. And this is where a little bit of eroticism comes into play. And you know, when you're dealing with like vampirism and werewolves and stuff like that, those types of films, you know, harkening back to like the Howling. You know, I was definitely getting some Howling vibes from this. There's definitely a sexual nature to movies like that. And for sure, it's heavily present in The Runner. And really, The Runner is more of an experience than it is a movie. You could like go to like, you remember those like light shows that they would have? They might still have them, but like they would play like Pink Floyd or something like that, and you would sit in this like amphitheater and you'd be looking up and you'd see like this light show. That's an experience. Not saying there's a light show in this or anything. It's definitely almost like a long music video, really. You know, thinking back to like Michael Jackson's Thriller, stuff like that. This is like an expanded musical journey. And it's creepy. And it pays homage to 70s and 80s horror. So if you're a horror fan like me that loves these types of movies, that loves music-driven, Carpenter-ish type movies, it's almost like, what if John Carpenter directed The Howling? That's what I'm trying to get at, okay? It took me probably 10 minutes to get to that point. But that's how I work my way through a review. I start with an idea, and then I just kind of grab crumbs along the way, and you know, whatever sticks, I grab onto it. I'm stupid like that. But guys, I loved this so much that I've watched it 3 times now. That's the nice thing about being 45 minutes too. I mean, it's bite-sized. You can get through it real quick. Even though this is 45 minutes, it feels like it flies by in like 10 minutes. It's that fast. And I even went to like Killer Flicks and Instagram, my Instagram account, and I had to like plug this because I was just taken aback. And I love when that happens because it doesn't happen that often. Let's face it, you know, how many times a year does a movie jump out at you and it kind of like jumps into you, you know, and you just become almost like addicted to it. That's what happened with this movie. I have literally been listening to the soundtrack on Spotify ever since I watched the movie. I'm even more interested in like Boy Harsher as a band now, you know, checking more of their stuff out. And if you're wondering why isn't Lee telling me more about the movie, that's because I want you guys to just experience it for yourself. I don't want to give anything away. There are some scenes that I would love to dive into because they're so fun. I will say the bar scene, because of the music and because of what happens in the bar scene, and it feels like its own music video, I'm right there with it the whole time. I love stuff like this. But guys, go to Shudder, not being paid by Shudder whatsoever. I just fell in love with this short little movie. And please support stuff like this. Plus it's independent film, you know? And how cool is it that a band directed this? That's insane to me. That's not stuff that you hear about all the time. It's usually like one guy or 2 people, which I guess in this case it is, but they say it's directed by the band, by Boy Harsher. That's just so cool to me. You know, that they're that passionate about a certain project. Like, I'm wondering, how did this thing start out? Did it start out as just like a music video and maybe it turned into like a concept album, and then they were like, hey, let's make a movie out of the concept album? Because that's kind of what Kiss wanted to do with The Elder way back in the day, and that album really fell on its face. But I like The Elder. I really do. And you know, I would encourage you guys, check out The Elder, even if you don't like Kiss, because it's very different than anything else Kiss ever did, you know, and I think that's why it fell on its face. The timing came out right in the disco era. Yeah, why am I talking about Kiss? I guess I have to give this Trapped on an Island. I loved, it's an experience. That's what The Runner is. It's so unique, it's an experience, loved it. Let me know down in the comments what you guys thought of this. I think kind of like It Follows, there will be some of you that you just don't like this type of stuff. It just doesn't resonate with you. And that's fine, okay? But I tend to like ambiguous fare in horror. So anyway, yeah, let me know down in the comments. Also, be sure to come over to Killer Flicks, where we talk horror all day and every day. And on Fridays, we do Free For All Fridays. Follow me at Drumdums on all my socials. Support me on Patreon. Buy me a coffee. And anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. And Drumdum out.